late, but we're here. The first item of business is a public hearing. I'm going to call the public hearing. Anybody who wishes, since there's no one here, I'll tell you anyway. Anybody that wishes to come forward and talk to us on the public hearing should come forward and give us your name, and we'll listen to you, and then we'll close that public hearing and move on. That matter will be heard as part of the new business of the meeting. Public hearing concerning an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, vacating a permanent drainage easement and temporary construction easement to facilitate drainage improvements on a portion of lots 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the final plat of Miller Crossing. Somebody are you going to speak to it? Please.
Thank you. Good evening. The City of Republic's Public Works Department has applied for the right-of-way or easement vacation of approximately the west 7.5 feet of a permanent drainage easement on lots 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the final plat of Miller Crossing. It also includes a temporary construction easement on the east, 8.5 feet, of the west 16 feet of lots 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the final plat of Miller Crossing.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to come forward and speak in the public hearing? Not seeing anyone making a move for the podium. I'm going to close the public hearing and move to the regular meeting. First item of business is the approval of minutes of the April 9th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
I make a motion to approve, April.
Thank you, George. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion on the motion? Call the roll, please.
George North,
Aye.
Tony Mitchell,
Aye.
Shane Grooms,
Abstain.
Alan Dixon,
Abstain.
Ransom Ellis,
Aye. What's that do for us?
That doesn't do it. We'll bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay. Next item of business is the approval of minutes of the March 12th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission workshop.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
All right. A motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Call the roll, please.
Ransom Ellis,
Aye.
Alan Dixon,
Aye.
Shane Grooms,
Aye.
Tony Mitchell,
Aye.
George North,
Aye.
I'm going to dispense with the citizen participation since we have no one in the audience today except for folks from the public of the city. So we'll move, there's no old business, we'll move to new business. Discussion and possible vote to recommend the approval of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, vacating a permanent drainage easement and temporary construction easement to facilitate drainage improvements on a portion of lots 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the final plat of Miller Crossing.
The original easements were granted to the city by CDGW LLC, who is the property owner of the subject properties, to facilitate stormwater improvements. The easements were granted last August by the Director of Public Works under the provisions of Section 120.140 of the City Code. The subject easements were constructed and have been deemed no longer needed to facilitate stormwater improvements by the Director of Public Works, Andrew Nelson. The properties are owned by CDGW. Both the city and the property are in agreement to vacate the subject easements.
Discussion, gentlemen? All I can say is it doesn't appear to have been needed for a permanent drainage, since we're unpermitted, potentially.
Recommend approval.
I have a motion from Shane to recommend approval. Is that what you said? Hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Everybody understands we're voting to to recommend approval of the ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic to vacate the permanent drainage easement, the temporary construction easement to facilitate drainage improvements on a portion of lots 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the final plat of Miller Crossing. That would be the motion. Call the roll.
George North,
Aye.
Tony Mitchell,
Aye.
Shane Grooms,
Aye.
Alan Dixon,
Aye.
Ransom Owens.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item is new business, comprehensive plan update.
Thank you. I'll make this brief, but this is the monthly update to the Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the Comprehensive Plan Update Project. The project team continues to meet on a bi-weekly basis. The focus of the meetings in April and also for the remainder of May has been to review a series of informatics and GIS maps produced by Chris Tabor in the Community Development Department. These maps are being used to gain a better understanding of the growth trends in the City of Republic. These maps, once in complete draft form, will be shared with the consultant teams to assist in the development of their respective scope of work projects. The comprehensive plan project itself has entered Phase 2, which is the development of core fundamentals. Phase 2 of the project includes the development of both element and sub-element plans and also includes those master plans by the teams. The development of these components of the project will occur at varying speeds and rates depending on the scope of the project within each element or sub-element and their relationship to other elements and sub-elements. Most recently, the project team has acquired Microsoft Project Manager, which is a software that we will be using to assist in streamlining the project across all facets. So staff that's working on the project and also our consultant teams. Among a lot of features included in the Project Manager software, it'll assist us in producing a master schedule. So right now we have individual schedules from the Parks Department, the Water Master Plan, the Sewer Master Plan, and the Stormwater Master Plan. And we're working on developing a schedule with the various planning components that we're working on in-house. This software will help us assist me in producing that master schedule that we can rely on moving forward. A couple of the projects that we've been working on, again, producing those informatics and the GIS maps, they include a new construction map. So this map is tracking both new residential and commercial construction, a parcel development map. This tracks individual lot availability within the City of Republic, a road inventory map. This tracks total miles of road that the city maintains. Right now, that's around approximately 108 miles. The annexation map is next. This includes the annexations and hyperlinks to the approved annexation ordinances. We have an actual land use map tracking actual land use of each parcel. So this map is kind of interesting because it's not exactly a zoning map. It's not exactly any of the other maps, so we rely on data of what is actually occurring on that particular parcel and then inventory it according to that. We also have a build year map which tracks the year structures are built, a population map tracking population per square mile, and then a development constraint map. And this is a draft model of location suitability for future development, including residential and commercial development, roads, and infrastructure. Other updates. The public works side, they've been doing a manhole inventory for about the last 5 weeks or so. So you may have seen crews from Burns McDonald and Algier Martin out actually performing those manhole surveys. So to date, we have 1,738 manholes which they've performed that survey on. We have 57 that they haven't been able to access that our utility department is working with trying to get access to them. 70 have not been located, but the utility department is trying to locate those. And then about 700 that they still need to inventory. So they're a little bit behind on schedule, but hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, they'll be able to finish all of those manhole inventories. The water division, they're performing field testing, hydraulic model construction, and water demand projections. On the stormwater side, they are currently reviewing existing ordinances, our existing MS4 permit, and then regional detention assessment. Finally, the Parks Department, they've been meeting with GRE on a regular basis. Right now, they're meeting about every 2 weeks with staff, and staff is working to gather data to provide to GRE regarding updates. This data that they're currently collecting consists of an appraisal of all of the existing resources the Parks Department has. Those include an inventory of facilities, of parks, of staffing levels, parks programs, different types of assets that the Parks Department may own. And they've also provided the 2018 budget and budget projections for 2019 to 2028. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding this project.
Why are they counting the manholes?
They are performing invert elevations on those, so we have an exact elevation of where all the pipes are basically in the system. So we don't currently have data in all of them, or it's not some accurate data, so every single manhole within the city is being surveyed so that we have accurate information moving forward.
Some of them are covered up.
Some of them they've discovered have been covered up, but I talked to Craig this morning, the superintendent of wastewater, and they kind of have a plan as far as the utility workers to go out there and try to find those manholes. They have a kind of a good idea where they are, but sometimes you have to do a little digging, so they're going to go out there and assist those crews and try to find those
You mean like when they have
70 that are not located.
One's in your yard.
Yeah, they were supposed to come out and raise one. They didn't do it, so they went ahead and blacktopped over it. But they laid stuff on top of it, so it'd be easy to get to.
And to be clear, they're not counting manholes as much as they are getting those flow line elevations, because you can't model the system unless you know in what direction it's going to flow from that manhole. So that's the real point of looking at every single one of them. Is the only way to know what that elevation is by popping that manhole lid off and getting the elevation inside, so you know exactly which direction everything's going to flow from that particular point.
There's one guy out there, a long pole with a GPS on top and a little computer attached to it. He pretty much knew where they were. He just couldn't find this particular one.
I know several of them are around on property lines in the backyards of people. I know 2 of those are on the backside of my property. Plus, I've got one on my property. It's a hayfield at the moment. It's probably covered up and you never find it.
Yeah.
Grass and stuff.
Well, those might be ones that maybe we can get that information from you and share that with Craig so that he can share that with the consultant teams. There are probably going to be a certain percentage, hopefully a very small percentage, that they absolutely never find because they're covered up with concrete or asphalt or they no longer exist or whatever the case is. But hopefully they're going to get most of those elevations out there in the field.
Any other questions? I hear a motion to adjourn. Motion. Hear a second? Second. Call the roll, please.
Rance Millis,
Aye.
Alan Dixon. George Norton.
Aye.
Shane. Tony Mitchell.
Aye.
No predictability.
I know, I'm jumping over.
Thank you. Yeah, that guy came and did the one next to me. He robbed about the same time as my mower.